Hi everyone, happy Friday. I'm going to start off by showing you some product. So I showed you last time the Legacy Manual. This is for the Mentor program. There will be 4 of these with the Mentor Master 1, Master 2 and Honors. Each one will be approximately 100 pages. This one is around 100 pages. And I explained the concept of having perforated pages. So we can then buy a binder and tear out the pages so they are now in a binder. And this binder is a 2-inch binder, so you will be able to put all the 4 manuals in this binder if you so wish. So beautiful BASI binder, logo, and of course our logo on the back. However, if someone prefers this spiral binding and to keep the books separate, that's an option. So we're hoping to use the same binder for our comprehensive course, so that people will be given the study guide, the reformer, not the study guide, but because the study guide will probably at this point still remain separate, although we'll probably move to a horizontal at some point. But all the equipment, the mat, the reformer, the Cadillac, etc., will be spiral bound but with perforated pages. People can then purchase the binder and put all the equipment inside the binder, tear out the pages and put it inside the binder. So I hope you'll all like it. We love this binder. It's got this kind of texture. It feels like material on there. Really beautiful binder. A little bit of other news. We would like to move toward centralized testing in Europe as well as here in the United States. It's been such a fantastic move for us, moving toward centralized testing. So we have it at several locations throughout the United States. However, we're focused here. We do several times a year here at the headquarters and then in other locations. Of course, the United States is huge, so we offer one in the Pacific Northwest, we offer on the East Coast, and we try offer in the central part of the country. And our hope is to move to a similar system in Europe. Of course, the licensee territories and areas, the licensees are independent and will do the testing as they wish in their region. However, in Europe, we will now start offering, hopefully, centralized testing. We have come up with an acronym called TOP, T-O-P. It stands for Travel Opportunity Program, And this program, TOP, you will all be receiving an online form from Veronica to fill out, essentially letting us know where are the destinations that you would like to travel to. Remember, I explained, I believe, in my first address, how important it is that faculty have the opportunity to travel everywhere. And it's not always just local faculty that have the monopoly on a certain area, but that all faculty can travel everywhere. It's good for the faculty, it's good for the students, it's good for BASI. It's fantastic that people can enjoy the entire BASI network. So we're formalizing it. I just saw the form Veronica sent to me. It's beautifully formatted. So this is going to help us build profiles on each one of you where you would like to travel, and we can try and accommodate. Now on to a few repertoire questions, being that there isn't that much to speak about today. I am going to just go back to the rowing. After I answered Ed's questions about rowing 1, I went upstairs and did the rowing one. And it's, as I said, Ed, when you're in that rowing position and you take the arms out to the side, they really are not in a true T position. They're slightly angled downwards. Leave them there as you then bring the body forward and the arms back. Keep the carriage absolutely still. It's such a beautiful cue. I found myself really working hard to keep the carriage still. Another version, but let's not teach it in the comprehensive program, is to go from the angle, lift the arms to a true T position, shoulder abduction of the arms to a true T position. However, then the carriage will move as you come forward. I like to teach it simply. Let's go for simplicity here. As the arms go out to the side, they will be on a slight angle. As the body goes forward and the arms go back, the carriage remains absolutely still. It's such a beautiful cue that people can feel. The other thing we spoke about, Ed, was coming forward. And I did a session with Andrea the other day. She gave me a session. And we were going over that rowing, and she made a wonderful point that actually clarified it in my mind. That when you reach the arms up and the body's on an angle, actually it's the exact starting position. That's what you're doing. You're establishing your starting position, and then as you bring the body upright, the arms will be ready to start. So nothing changes then in the angle of the shoulder. Lovely way of describing it. Thank you, Andrea, for that excellent clarity. I owe an apology to Jordana. Jordana, forgive me. You wrote to me and asked about the hip work on the spine corrector, and you gave me the order, and I said it was correct. In fact, it was incorrect. I've just gone over my notes. I've gone over it with Jen. Once and for all, let's get this together, and I believe this is what I taught in our last summit. We want to clarify this. It's on the record now. I just spoke to Jen 2 minutes ago. The supine hip work on the spine corrector, supine series, starts with openings, turned out. The first 2 exercises are turned out. So the openings turned out. The helicopter, 5 in each direction, turned out. Not alternating, but 5 in one direction, 5 in the other direction, turned out. Now we switch to parallel as we do the scissors, bicycle, and bicycle reverse. Why? The openings and the helicopter, we want to maximize range of motion. So we do it turned out. We then go to parallel to simulate, to copy exactly what we do in the mat work. Because this is such a great preparation for the mat work. It's exactly the mat work. In the mat work, our arms are creating the spine corrector. So we cradle the pelvis, and we do the scissors parallel as we do in the mat work, the bicycle parallel as we do in the mat work, the bicycle reverse. This is different if we're doing the spine, the F2 spine corrector. Then it's different. Then the order is different and there's a different sequence. So let me not confuse things by going through that sequence now. But just again, the spine corrector, the regular spine corrector, we've got the openings, we've got the helicopter, 5 in each direction, and then we've got the scissors, and we've got the bicycle reverse. The first 2 exercises turned out, and the others, scissors, bicycle reverse, parallel. Moving on to Ashley's question. By the way, I may as well speak about the order on the F2 spine corrector. I cannot stop myself. Here it's different. Everything is turned out. We start actually with the frog. The frog Such a great exercise. We then go from the frog into the openings. We then go from the openings to the scissors. And then from the scissors to the helicopter, 5 in each direction. It's all turned out. Of course, we're working with springs. Finally, Ashley asked about the setup for the lunge forward on the reformer. Yes, we changed the name. I spoke about it last time. The full lunge, we've changed the name to lunge forward. So it will be lunge standing, lunge kneeling, lunge forward, lunge reverse, which we learn in the mentor program. How do we get into the position? Many people start on their knees. No, we don't start on the knees. Get onto the reformer standing, meaning you put your hands on the footbar and you stand on the carriage. Then you place your back foot angled on the shoulder rest. Your heel on the shoulder rest, about the same angle of the foot that you use for your upstretch. So the foot is not right up against the shoulder rest. It is heel against the shoulder rest, toes on the carriage, probably at about a 45-degree angle, although it's somewhat individual. Then you're holding onto the foot bar, lift the front foot onto the bar. Now it's not easy to get in like that. To tell you the truth, I myself see as I get a little older, it's harder and harder to recruit those hip flexors to lift the leg deep into the chest to put the foot onto the bar. But that in itself is a great challenging exercise. It gets you to go into that deep flexion. It gets you to recruit the hip flexor to put the foot on the bar. Someone may need a little bit of help. Either you can help them by lifting the foot on or help them by holding the carriage. What happens is as you lift the foot up, the leg up toward the chest, and the carriage moves away, it's hard then to get the foot up on the foot bar. So by either holding the carriage, helping the foot, or even adding that little yellow spring that our dear Guadalupe calls the compassion spring, that little yellow spring gives a little bit more support to that exercise. I know we always say one spring in the stretches, and that is correct. Certainly the fundamental stretch is only one spring. But remember when we worked on balanced body, we had a green spring. The green is the same as the red and the yellow. It gives you that little bit extra, about 20% extra, 20 to 25% extra. And so adding that little yellow spring on the more advanced stretches is legitimate. That is all I have for this week. So I wish you all a great summer. Have fun in the sun, and peace be with you all.